Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. This is a very powerful nakshatra. Very powerful, in fact, because it is ruled by one of the 11 Rudras, Aja Ekpada. And Aja Ekpada, in many ways, is synonymous to lightning. It's a thunderbolt. What is very interesting is that the Shakti of this nakshatra is the power to help the native grow spiritually. That's the Shakti of this nakshatra, to bring about speedy spiritual development. If you actually look at it, enlightenment or the Kundalini Shakti activating your crown chakra is quite a bit like a thunderbolt. But at the same time, this nakshatra has the abilities within it to bring about swift, powerful change. These people can be great educators, they can be great revolutionaries, they can be great teachers, they can even be great entrepreneurs. But mostly I've seen people in Purvabhadrapada nakshatra, ruled circumstances where they have a lot of planets in Purvabhadrapada, they have their moon in Purvabhadrapada, or they have their ascendant in Purvabhadrapada. Quite often, these individuals are involved in academic works. They're involved in works related to academia, consciousness, society. There is some sort of a higher responsibility at play in one way or another for these people always. That's what I've seen. The totem animal associated with this nakshatra is the male lion, or Singha, as it is called in Sanskrit. And the male lion is the mount of goddess Durga, who is the embodiment of Shakti. She is Adi Shakti. All in all, the energy that is resultant in this lunar mansion is an energy of righteousness, quite a bit, an energy which is very dharmic in nature, transformational, revolutionary, powerful, but at the same time, the energy here can be a little bit extreme, highly competitive. In order to balance that out, Purvabhadrapada people can quite often become quite indulgent, because that is the shadow side of this nakshatra. They want victory at all costs. If you read the Durga Sapshati, if you read the Devi Mahatamyam, you will understand that Goddess Durga, she was created by the Shaktis of all the gods to fight the powerful demons that had plagued the Devas for quite a bit. And in particular, Mahishasur, who was one of the most powerful demons. In successive calls to the goddess to help the Devas, she encountered a lot more powerful demons until she finally encountered one of the most difficult to vanquish demons of all, Raktabij. He would multiply through every drop of blood that would fall on the ground. They would spring his clones. I'm not kidding. This is actually what the story is. Everybody should read it seriously. If you're into Vedic culture and mythology and you want to learn more about it, reading it is going to be like, wow, I mean, this is so ahead of its time. The concepts that are written there, how can it be science fiction? Because science, as you know, it did not exist back then. Anyways, coming back. So in order to overcome that powerful demon, Devi went to the dark side and summoned the dark forces within her to take the form of Kali. Now, Kali is actually quite misconstrued, quite misunderstood. Kali is the energy, true, of victory at all costs. But at the same time, Kali is the energy that responds to you the fastest when you are in trouble. And Devi's energy here in Purvabhadrapada nakshatra is quite powerful. So these individuals, as long as they stay on the dharmic path, as long as you are doing something dharmic, as long as you are doing something that is focused on achieving the highest objectives, in line with your dharma, this is a space which helps you out really. If you start entertaining the wrong ideas, if you start indulging in the wrong things, then as a result of that disillusionment, you can expect this lightning bolt. You can expect this moment of clarity to shock you back on path. Why? Because here's the thing about Jupiter. When you talk about Saturn, Saturn is, vastly considered to be a hard taskmaster. He's considered to be a very, tough guy to deal with. He puts you through tests. He makes you work for things, etc., etc. But you look at all of the Saturn nakshatras. You look at Pushya, you look at Anuradha, you look at Purvabhadrapada. All of these are nakshatras which are pretty soft, giving in nature. You look at the nakshatra that Jupiter rules. Look at Purvabhadrapada. Look at Vishakha. Look at Punarvasu. Punarvasu is one of the most beautiful nakshatras. However, Punarvasu is restoration. Okay? It will restore you to your original glory, but not before it has put you through a lot of tests. Vishakha is lightning, forked lightning. Okay? It shows you a polarity that exists even within the most sattvic, the most powerful of energies that exist in your mind, your nervous system, right? And in the same way, Purvabhadrapada is singular. It's a lightning bolt. So, when you talk about Jupiter, Jupiter's energies can be quite unforgiving. You're either on the right side or you're not. If you're on the right side, think of this powerful energy, the force of the universe right behind you, assisting you in doing whatever you need to get done. But if you are misaligned with your karma, then it's kind of like a boomerang. That means it comes back, because Jupiter is the, guru of the devas, guru of the gods. Jupiter, Brihaspati, Lord Brihaspati. He is actually the personification of Lord Vishnu himself. Okay? And so this is an energy which is then going to put you through shocks to awaken you to the reality of this world. So, Purvabhadrapada people, if your life is not working out for you, then it's quite possible that you're not being your authentic self. It's quite possible that you are not aligning yourself with the most harmonious and conducive expression of your dharma. What is your dharma? Your dharma is what your duty is towards society, as a son, as a daughter, as a brother, as a husband, as a wife, as a sister. Okay, as executing whatever you need to execute, being a part of your company. That is what your dharma is. Your dharma as a human being on this planet, before anything else, is to bring about development in some way to the collective consciousness. That is the simple rule for everybody. It's true that quite a bit in the efforts of bringing about development, we end up creating a lot of problems. But then again, we need Purvabhadrapada people. We need Vishakha people to show us the way. To show us the way out, to innovate. You will quite often find scientists, you will quite often find lecturers, professors. In fact, it's also quite possible a lot of researchers, doctors, also microbiologists, also it's quite possible that you can find with Purvabhadrapada. This is an energy, you can even find a lot of people in finance, but this is an energy which is about achieving something that cannot be achieved unless you go about it very forcefully. And so it's like a double-edged sword. If you're not up to the task, you will be cut to size by this energy. If you are up to the task, you can be blessed with such powers, such skills, maybe brilliant powers of negotiation. Purvabhadrapada people can have such powers of negotiation. They can be such hard negotiators. They can accomplish deals which may not really stand. This is where Anuradha Nakshatra becomes more powerful, because Anuradha people are able to bring about pacts. They're able to bring about deals and negotiations that stand the test of time. But Purvabhadrapada people, They can come into a situation, they can negotiate hard, and they can win in favor of their client or their community or a cause. They don't know what's going to happen with that down the line, but they're able to do these things. So depending on what planet is placed here, you can understand quite a bit of this energy. Let's say you have Rahu placed in Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. That means quite a bit of the motivations of your soul in this lifetime is achievement of powerful sattvic objectives. This could be in the area of research. This could be area in the area of education. With Rahu in Purvabhadrapada, in some way, shape, or form, your soul in this lifetime is here to experience power. What you have to guard yourself against is if this power is directed in the wrong direction. Then this bolt of lightning from Aja Ekpada, then this Shakti of Adi Shakti, then this force of Lord Brihaspati is going to shock you back on track. That is something that you need to keep in mind. Okay? In the same way, let's say you have Saturn in the nakshatra of Purvabhadrapada. Saturn in the nakshatra of Purvabhadrapada can quite often give a person some sort of an identity crisis. Like you are not really aware of your power. You become more and more aware of it through the trials, through the difficulties, through quite often problems and struggles and even tragedies that life puts you through. And once you get the hang of it, then you are able to learn how to wield that energy, how to work with that energy to bring about transformation in the way that you want. Okay, let's take one more. Let's say you have Venus in Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. Venus in Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra in a woman's chart can actually be, in fact, even in a man's chart, can signify blessings of Goddess Durga herself. Because Venus is the personification of the feminine. Okay, Purvabhadrapada is the embodiment of Adi Shakti, who's actually the mother divine, the divine feminine at her highest, most energetic state. You bring Venus here. This is an individual who has a lot of blessings in terms of finances, in terms of comfort, in terms of conveniences from the universe, from the divine feminine energy of the universe. And these people quite often can be of a very good character. They can aspire to great noble aims, but it is quite possible that they may end up underutilizing the energies that they have been, gifted with. Because if you look at Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra, it's a little bit inconsistent with Venus's energy. Because Venus's agendas in life are pretty much live and let live. Purvabhadrapada, Jupiter, and Goddess Durga's, because Venus is associated, let's say, with Goddess Lakshmi, okay, and Shukracharya. And then you have Jupiter, and you have Goddess Durga, and you have Aja Ekpada, you know, the association with this particular lunar mansion. It's the energy of transformation, pushing through, bringing about change. It's embracing conflict. So Venus in Purvabhadrapada people can be quite tentative to step up to the plate and take up the responsibility of doing what they need to do in life. But sooner or later, you know, through the blessings that they receive, they learn how to be fighters for some kind of a cause. It could just be even, you know, bringing about an important change in the family's trajectory. It's quite possible, let's say, that your family, owned a massive piece of land long time ago, and with time, you know, that was squandered and you just have some of it left now. And with Venus in Purvabhadrapada, you know, after working, trying out many things, you decide, you know what, I'm going to start buying this land back and I'm going to develop this place and I'm going to build it into something great and I'm going to restore that glory to my family. It could be quite possible that it could be like that. Okay. So this was just a very brief analysis that I wanted to share with you guys about Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here, and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. If you want to know more about my Astro Life Coaching Practitioner course, you can check out the link given here in in the description box. It's going to take you to my website. You got to fill out the form. If you're shortlisted for the course, because seats are limited, we'll reach out to you, fix up a call, a discovery call, and take it further from there. Okay.